All right, thank you. So, generally, today's topic Nasik. Okay, today's topic is very beautiful. Today and on 5th, basically, 3rd and 5th, we will be doing, um, we will be doing obviously, some beautiful insights on from this beautiful book called How to Find Your Level of Meditation by TORKOM Saradaria. I purchased this book, I guess, 5, 6 years back. And every time I read this book, especially how to meditate, I find very beautiful insights, especially on meditation, visualization, thought forms, and how can enhance the quality of our meditation. So generally, this is, generally before we start with the beautiful great invocation, starting our day with the great invocation. Um, you know, just like we stay on the planet Earth, each one of us, we stay on the planet Earth, right? Not on Mars, not on Jupiter, but we live on planet Earth. So everything which is inside the planet Earth is being taken care by a higher being. I mean, physical body of the earth is being taken care of its by the being who's in charge of Mother Earth. Similarly, when we meditate, when we do something good, something bad, when we create a thought, when we do anything actually, any activity, exercise, meditation, especially meditation. We'll also talk about in these 2 days how to meditate, what it is to feel like meditate in theory, and then we'll experience it. But in this session, we'll try our level best that in these 2 days, because these 2 days are the topic which are related to this book reading and book study, I would prefer calling it, how to find your level of meditation. This is a very small booklet, $6. Very small booklet, but it's a very powerful teachings which are given here. So try to attend this topic from the place where you meditate, your place where you, it's a puja corner or a east corner of your place, especially. Now, each one of us, we have our different consciousness within us. When I say different consciousness, I do not exactly mean consciousness. I mean that we have different layers of planes within us. So when we meditate, have you observed that when we meditate initially, what has been the experiences? Sometimes, it is difficult to meditate, especially when we initially start our journey of meditation. Are you also someone like who experienced that, more negative thoughts were coming out, more thoughts were coming out actually? Fearful thoughts, it could be happy memories, it could be doubtful energy, it could be experiencing yourself as if you have never ever experienced yourself. Like, in general, it would be like that the way I feel, the way I behave, I don't think this way, the way my thoughts are coming to the surface. Has that happened with anyone here by any chance? With anyone? This experience has happened that when we are meditating, these things comes to the surface. Very common. Yes, it happens, right? Many a times this happens, especially when we stop meditating for some months or some weeks and then we resume it, it happens. So, what happens, we are a being, we are a big being. And in that being, there are small, small beings which are a part of it, which is given to us to grow and to evolve. Especially what I mean by that is chakras. So there are so many layers in our thoughts, in our consciousness, which starts getting triggered, is exactly the word I would like to use. It just starts getting triggered and it just comes to the surface, so that things can come out. And that's why sometimes childhood memory and things comes out. And I've seen many people, they would stop meditating saying that I cannot meditate. It is difficult for me to meditate. That is not the truth. It's just meditation is a purest way to clean oneself. Like, anything we practice in our life, may it be any form of a healing, but ultimately it is the soul healing, and soul healing happens only and only through meditations, through prayers are also meditation in motion actually. So ultimate healing is only and only through meditation. So everything else which is a healing is, I can say in a simple way, it's like a band-aid, right? So this time, right now, let's just start the session. Are we ready to start the session with an invocation prayer? And whatever I'm going to share, this insight is from this book, How to Find Your Level of Meditation. Obviously, in these 2 days, we cannot complete the book. We can just take a part of it and inner reflect and see how we can increase the quality of our meditation, and how to meditate, in a simple way. So today, when we recite the great invocation together, I just want you to have a small thought form, though we will read from the book How to Recite the Great Invocation from page number 78. But let's just be aware that when we recite Great Invocation, let's remember it is like an emotional healing for the Mother Earth, because we've been constantly blessing the Mother Earth. Let light descend on Mother Earth, let me love descend on Mother Earth. So just like we do our own emotional healing sometimes, this is healing the Mother Earth. So if it is healing the Mother Earth, so many layers are there in Great Invocation. It is like a protection for Mother Earth, healing for Mother Earth, especially emotional healing for Mother Earth, because the thoughts get purified, the emotions get purified of the Mother Earth. So if it is an emotional healing for the Mother Earth, then whatever we are doing to Mother Earth, it is also coming to us many times. Whether we want, we don't want, it's going to happen with us. So let's just be aware of our heart, energy center, and hatha. Let's just be aware of the crown. Just tap it, touch it, so that the activation levels are there. Inhale slowly, hold and exhale slowly. Be aware of the inner silence. Do not sleep in that silence. Just be aware of the inner silence. Inhale slowly, hold and exhale slowly. Just have one thought form in this small nurturing. I am a pure soul. Purer I am. To the Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, all the great ones. To all the angelic beings. To Mahaguruji Mailing. To the great angelic beings of the TSG Foundation. To beloved teacher. Thank you for your immense healing. Thank you for healing us, helping us to learn how to meditate, why it is important to prepare to meditate. Thank you for divine abundance at all levels, especially spirituality. Thanks, and in full faith, so be it. Be aware of your heart, be aware of your especially crown. Take the God energy with every inhalation. Just be aware of every atomic particle of your being. And exhale. Again, take God's energy in your crown. Be aware of your bone, your tissues, every atomic particle of your consciousness, and exhale. Gently open our eyes, greet each other spiritually. Atma, Namaste. All right. Just a thought form before we start. As I was praying, this constant thing was just was very strong. When we meditate, our atomic particles, our cellular energy, we can say, and then smaller than that, atomic particles, very slowly and gradually starts purifying and charged with God's energy. So anyone who does meditation and is a good meditationer practitioner is evolving. Obviously, meditation leads us to evolution. Irrespective is the age of the physical body, would automatically be a charismatic healer. So one do not need to be a healer. Develop the art of healing. Person who meditates is a natural healer, right? So from this book, page number 78, because we'll be starting with great invocation. How to recite the great invocation. So the teacher Torkom Saradarian in his book says, when we repeat a prayer or an invocation, however, a prayer is different than invocation. Invocations are more powerful than a prayer. So can we say great invocation is very powerful? Yes, it's very powerful. Even in the inner world, especially, this 10th of June, the reason of conducting this nurturing is we're having upcoming full moon of Gemini, and that's the distributive energy, especially of the great invocation. So actually, in the inner world, many angelic beings who are specifically assigned for this purpose, even the higher beings, they are also reciting the great invocation. They don't recite through words, they create thought forms. So, been doing the great invocation. So the more we participate, the more we get um, plug into the hierarchy. When we repeat a prayer or an invocation, we have a tendency to become mechanical after a while. Like for example, I always have a poster of great invocation every time I say, always have a great invocation poster when we recite the great invocation, because that poster gets actually charged up in the process of recitation. It's not the poster. When we look at the chakra in the poster, it gets charged up, charged up, charged up, and you can just put it in your prayer room or a healing room or a meditation room actually, and that it's a blessed poster after a long period of after some time. So generally what we do is, like, when we look at the great invocation, we are always like from the point of light within the mind of God. So we are mechanical, we are just not knowing what we are doing, we are just saying, blabbering what we are with what we are knowing, actually, something, or what we learn, something like that. So he says, we utter the words in sentences without conscious participation and we reap no result. Like just the example I gave, from the point of light, within the mind of God, the lights in the sun, like too fast, too fast, too fast. At the time we say the great invocation, we must proceed through the following steps. So there are 3 steps which we should do, or we should say, do while doing the great invocation. First is a moment of mental silence. Like here, I would like to add on, like, one of the best, not the best, but yeah, one so far, the great invocations I have joined in to be a part of. There is this one group, 2 groups actually. First time I attended the Great Invocation group was with Master Hector. So, ever a chance, the way he makes us do great invocation is very powerful, is very beautiful. And these 3 steps are included in his great invocation. So, just one great invocation is so powerful that we feel heal actually in the process, because it isn't giving that we receive. And then with this peace, this silence, another person I saw live once, couple of years back, was she's still, but first I saw a couple of years back, uh, president of TSG Foundation, Geeta Saradarian. So the way she was making the way she was reciting actually the great invocation was very powerful. It was so much of loving energies and different type of cosmic energies which was being radiated, because it was exactly done with peace, with pause, with silence, with visualizations and things like that. The first is a moment of mental peace. So it's just not like let's join in for 10 minutes great invocation and let's do 10 great invocation, 9 great invocations. Just even if someone like wanted to share this, it's not like we have to do 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours of meditation in order to downpour the energy. Someone can just do 10 minutes of meditation also, and the downpour of energy can be very similar to 3 hours, 4 hours of meditation. So the secret is in the technique, and especially how the technique is being done. It's very, very powerful. Second is a state of penetrative concentration on the meaning of the words. Means what words are we saying? We should understand the meaning of that words, because it's not the words. It is the essence which it holds, not like, I've heard teachers saying, master teacher saying, don't look at the finger, but look where it is being pointed. So look at the goal, look at the essence of it, something like that. Third, use of creative visualization. So there is a triangles work which is done from different chakras. If that added in the great invocation, it becomes very, very powerful. Mental silence means detachment from former or new thoughts. Means the old thoughts, and before we are going to create the new thoughts, there should be a detachment. Concentration is to focus on each word without letting the mind waver, penetrating into deeper meanings of each word. So while reciting the great invocation, the hurriness, the what I have to do after the session at the home or something like that, those things should not prevail, but it should be like what's like, sometimes when we read Bhagavad Gita or we hear the shloks of Bhagavad Gita, we really want to understand and implement that in our life, the essence of it. Similarly, something like that here. Creative visualization is a process of handling energy and building communication lines to the higher levels of being. All the words that we speak are charged with energy from various levels of our being, because every time we say something, that's like, if you want to visualize, if you're a visual person, imagine chewing a bubble gum, like this is the best way to understand it. The moment you blow a bubble gum, that's your own force which comes out and makes the bubble gum um, become bigger or bigger or bigger. Similarly, let's just think that every time we create a word, it's like our own extension of our own energy, which is just like a bubble. Just the difference between a bubble gum and a bubble of thought form is released in the ocean of energy. Bubble gum sticks back to the tongue, something like that. All the words we speak are charged with energy from various level of our being. So, depending on our evolution, uh, what we say tends to materialize. If our utterance is mechanical, the words have little power. If we are emotional, they have more power. When we penetrate into the true meaning of our words, they are charged with still some more energy. If our consciousness or being is focused on higher planes, when we speak, our words carry tremendous energy with them, spreading creative effects into space for a very long time. This is a very secret of the secrets for some of us. If we, it's a big seed idea. It's a big seed idea. How thought forms are created and how angelic beings actually communicate. How does angelic beings communicate? They don't communicate through words. They don't communicate through like us. They communicate through thoughts. They communicate so that every thought form is like color. So their language is color, their language is thoughts. They create a thought. That's how they talk. When we sound an invocation with concentration, visualization, and right intonation, with, rhythm, not like the great invocation from the point of light within the mind of God, that light stream forth, that's super mechanical. Anytime I see anyone doing that way, I know, oh my God, no point of joining in. It's just like Some energies will definitely be a part of the group, but there's a lot of rush energy, a lot of rush energy, there's more solar plexus energy which is involved into it. When we sound an invocation with concentration, visualization, and right tonality, we create a magnetic symphony of colors in space. So, where you will recite right now, the great invocation, it just creates different kinds of colors in that space. So, it's like a sacred invocation. Every time you just create it, whatever I mean, whether we say it, you will feel that certain colors are radiating. If you are a scanner, like if you've done pranic healing course, you know how to scan, right? Many of us, we are pranic healers here. You know how to scan. You can just scan, validate that are there different colors which are being radiating in our space, which wasn't there before. The great law responds with love, power, light, and beauty. Thus, our needs are fulfilled. So, actually, what happens recent, 3 months, no, 7 months back, I took a session on Angels and Deva of TORKOM SARAYDARIAN book. So, and we will be having our upcoming book study in the month of June end, July start from the TSG Foundation, because there are two book studies we are conducting this month, Soul Empowerment. One is Omram Michael Avno, The Book of Divine Magic. It's a very sacred book. Both are very sacred inner teachings, which we'll be conducting. Another, which will be starting from, I guess, 20th of June or something like that, 15th or 20th, 16th of June. And June end, July start, there would be a very beautiful book which I conducted during COVID. I wanted to redo it. It's a very powerful book. It's like it brings tremendous stability of the mind, control on the mind. And the name of the book is The Art of Creative Visualization. So, yeah. So, why I was telling you this, that if you've read this book, Angels and Deva, when we say this invocation and these kala pranas are projected in our space, this is a food for the angelic kingdom. This is a food for the higher beings. So, if this is the food for the higher beings, they are naturally attracted to our space. And that's why a place where regular meditations are done, prayers are done, it becomes very, very sacred actually. And it is charged with spiritual energy, because constantly there are hosts which are coming, higher being host, which is eating up the food from that place, because that is their food. The great invocation is intoned by an enlightened group. When the great invocation is intoned by an enlightened group, we have at our disposal the greatest tool to control and handle divine energies in nature. The great invocation is a mantram, a word of power. So now, with that thought forms, would we like to recite great invocation and start our day with a beautiful thought form in our space? So my just small suggestion, since I did not ask you to keep videos on because it's early morning in India, correct? So if you've been joining from India, it's super early morning, not super early, but early morning. I don't know. So if you're in the bed, would just request you just get up, sit. Let's pay reverence during the great invocation. Okay? Would prefer doing it from this blessed poster. So let's just sit in silence. Be aware of the breath. Be aware of your breath. Mentally say, I'm disconnected from all the energy, places, environment. Try to say it verbally, not mentally, so that the space is cleansed, charged equally at the same time. In the first paragraph, let's just be aware of a chakra which is located in between our eyebrows called Ajna. Connect this, create a triangle, connect this with two men and women of goodwill or the good will to do good. Does not depend, they are in the physical body, it can be in the energy body also. Visualize the globe of Mother Earth in mid of the triangle. The great invocation. It's a moment of sacredness. From the point of light, within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the mind of men. When we say men, it means human root races. There are various levels of truth. Not just the people who are alive right now on the earth. It means the races. Inhale slowly, hold, exhale slowly. Let light stream forth into the minds of every person, every being. Let light descend on earth. Be aware of the light descending on the triangle, directing towards the earth. Be aware of the forehead region. Be aware you're creating another triangle which is connected with other men and women of goodwill and the goodwill to do good. From the point of love within the heart of God, be aware of the point of love into the heart of God. Let love stream forth into the hearts of every person, every being. Let love descend on earth. Be aware the love is descending on the triangle, infusing it in the Mother Earth. Move your consciousness to the top of the head. Be aware of Sashahara, the crown. From the center, which we call the will of God, where the will of God is known, be aware of the energies from the Shambhala. Let purpose guide the little will of every person, every being. Remember, the great invocation is the mantra of power. The purpose which the holy masters know and serve. Let goodwill and the will to do good descend on earth. Be aware of these energies from the three corners of the triangle is going to the Mother Earth. From the center, which we call the human race, let the plan of love and light work out. Be aware of forehead, triangle, love. Be aware of Ajna triangle, light work out. May it seal the door where the evil dwells. Be aware of a light circulating in the outer three corners of the triangle in a clockwise motion. All the three triangles being outer corners are filled with light, shielding the Mother Earth. Be aware of Ajna, let light. Be aware of forehead, love. Be aware of the crown. Power, manifest the divine plan on earth. Let these thought forms go deep, deep into the Mother Earth as we chant Om. 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 Release the excess energy from your consciousness by blessing every person who joined in live. And to your loved ones, to every person, every being, then without any exception. Radiate in all the eight directions, so be it. Visualize on this full moon of Gemini more and more souls reciting great invocation. Gently open your eyes, radiate the beauty to every person, every being. Observe how you are feeling. Check, do we feel silent within ourselves? What is the quality of energy? Now we'll move to the book reading. Do share your experience in the chat. Okay. Come back to the body. Don't sleep. Come back to the body. Sip some water. It helps to absorb the energy. Very still, right? Okay. I'm going to read from chapter 7. Very interesting chapter. Very beautiful because it might really help us to, one of the best part is every time I do great invocation, um, nervous system is very much charged. That's my personal observation for me. So this is chapter number 7, how to find your level of meditation from TORKOM SARAYDARIAN TSG Foundation. Very grateful to them for um, having this session. So the name of the chapter is Meditation Keynotes. So let's just read what is written here. If you have the book, great. If not, it's okay. Meditators are divided into many groups. Meditators are the ones who meditate, are divided into many groups. One group receives ideas from higher world. Another group interprets them and analyze them. Any another group actualizes them in creative expression. Any another group's duty is to build bridges between ideas and centers of projection and reception, means projecting and receiving. Another group destroys obstacles and wipe out dark forces. So that means there are many means that there are actually people in the physical body and in the energy body who have been meditating. So there are, it's not like every group purpose is same. Every group purpose is different. Some souls are assigned with the purpose of, wiping out the negative energy, purification, removal of the dark forces, purification. Some, so when the higher beings are also meditating. Holy masters are also meditating, by the way. The breath work is still done by them. Breath work is the highest form of awareness. So the more we do breath work, more we are aware. So some groups, so as the thoughts are being shared by them, some meditators group, they catch, some materializes it, some analyzes it, some forms a healing modality, some actually just focuses more on removing of the dark forces, shielding and things like that. There is also a group called the synthesizer. They synthesize various efforts and ideas and offer them to those who are ready for ascent, means who are ready for receiving or, are ready. Generally, Ray 4 energy. It's not written, I'm just saying. There is another group called meditators who guide. They guide you to those events which lead you to the proper form of meditation. Like you will hear some specific type of school, which would be like, or specific type of a soul, under which we learned initial meditation, and then they helped us to deviate towards our main kinds. Okay, what I want to share here is very simple. Each one of us, we have a soul type. For a specific soul type, we need a specific kind of a teacher which is giving that similar food, which is our soul type, so that we can nurture, we can bloom. If we are just doing spiritual hopping, if I can say that word, then in that case, that is just to initially to analyze, think what works for us. Once we understand what works for us, we should stick to that, because what will happen if a specific soul type is under not a wrong teacher, always a right teacher, but wrong for that soul, because the energy is not like attracts like. So the person might not evolve, the soul might not evolve in this lifetime. So it is very important. Levels of meditation: physical, emotional, lower mental, higher mental. When here it is written mental, it does not means mental, but plane, lower mental plane, higher mental plane. Lower mental plane is the unit of the incarnated soul, higher mental plane is the unit of the higher soul. Meditation turns into contemplation when you are focused on the intuitional plane, right? Truly. Because when we tap into intuitional plane, our higher emotional body, we get nurtured, we get ideas, we get to know many things about us and what things we need to do in our life. Meditation turns into contemplation when you are focused on the intuitional plane. Then your contemplation is to realize and be aware of the beauty of oneness, which comes from the crown, right? At the atmic level, contemplation, it doesn't goes for us, it's just for reading because we have to focus on the incarnated soul as of now. But good to know, good to be aware what we should know where to go. At the atomic level, contemplation is to actualize the oneness in every idea, line of idea and thought. Like, simple. Let's keep it very simple. Say, what we do to others, law of karma, what we do to others is what we are doing to oneness, doing to oneself. Why? Because there is a concept of there are different kinds of laws in the nature. You and I cannot go against that laws of the nature because the moment we go against that laws of the nature, we will not be able to survive for long, and ailments, psychological, mental, emotional, physical, will start materializing slowly and gradually. So the idea is slowly and gradually to put that oneness concept in every whether it's a professional life, whether it's a personal life, everywhere there has to be what I do to others and treating with equality irrespective of the gender, caste, creed, status, or something like that. In the monadic level, contemplation is to sense the archetype and evoke archetypal livingness, exactly what I was trying to say. At a monadic mean, at a divine spark level, at a our father level, it is contemplation is to sense what is archetype, what is a specific type, under which ashram, under which teacher, which ray we are, and then um, evoking that kind of a livingness. Like, let me explain through an example. So, Bhakti Yoga is a mark, which a path or a marg where souls who are under this kind of an ashram, they want to come back again and again to help other, even after becoming an arhat, they want to come back again and again to help other souls to come out of from the mud. Whereas the mark of ray 1, ray 3, and other rays are very different. So, knowing the archetype and then treading that archetype. In the divine level, so that comes from knowledge and then putting that knowledge into how, if someone has a question, how, first studying deeply the rays, then knowing what ray I am in this lifetime, what is the ray of my emotional body, mental body, and seeing other people from that idea, from that eyesight. So, by studying oneself. In the divine level, contemplation is of cosmic astral plane. Your meditation is controlled by your past tendency. This is something very important. Your meditation is controlled by your past tendencies, examples, and rays. Exactly what I was saying, correct? That means that if a soul did not learn a quality of meditation or a habit of meditation, it would be very difficult in this lifetime to learn meditation. The soul will learn eventually, but the soul has to put a lot of effort because it's like a beginner in meditation. However, for some people, they have been a meditator in previous lifetime. So once, they, like, some of you are smiling, like only one person I see smiling because the video is on only one person. So could you remember when you meditated for the first time, or, meditation was very easy? So if the meditation experience was very easy for some of us or any one of us, that means you and I, as a soul, have been meditating in previous lifetimes too, not just this lifetime. And then you meet some people, they can just sit for 4 or 5 hours for meditation. They love to meditate, right? So the soul has learned that quality in previous lifetimes. So it's not difficult for them. So it is controlled by our past tendency, examples, and rays. Meditation is continued to break off our past tendency, example, and changes your rays for new and freer creativity, because it's like we have to develop all seven rays and go beyond than that. So in every, depending what meditation, which meditations we are doing, slowly and gradually that ray inculcates in us and grows stronger and stronger and stronger, and makes our soul, polish from every side, something like that. The supreme goal of meditation is to discover yourself. So, people who say it is, as I said, when you meditate, healing will come to you naturally. For many people, healing is not science. They did not learn healing from anywhere. They just move their hand. When I say move their hand, I do not mean any healing modality. I want to share, have you seen some saintly people? They will just put the hand and just from their heart, they will have a thought, for me, this person be healed. And the person really, the pain, the sorrow, suffering reduces. I mean that. I just do not mean waving the hands actually. I did not mean that. So, person who meditates, the loneliness automatically, many times for a spiritual practitioner, the loneliness comes because the soul has supposedly this much quantity of ability to absorb meditation, have that cosmic energies in themselves, but they are only taking this in everyday household course. They are missing out their meditations. So the life becomes challenging because these challenges come, they are anyway supposed to come, but the ability to handle is what comes from meditation. So we need also quantity of energy. That quantity of energy comes from meditation. So don't let's think that meditation is only for quantity of energy. That's just beginner level. That is, then it helps us to purify. Meditation naturally changes the quality of our atomic particle. And then as we meditate, many a times, example, when I do breath work, many a times I do breath work, it's like understanding that why do I behave like this? Why? And then the root cause is not in the present, it's in the past. Do I could I explain you this? Could I just explain this context? So meditation help us to know our tendencies and purify and let go those tendencies. For example, a person is behaving angry. It is just a reaction. The person is not angry. The person is have a tendency to say bad, hurtful words. It is a behavior. It's a tendency. It's a reaction. It is not the cause. The cause is different. We always think that the person is angry or the person is irritating or the person is this. No, it's a reaction. The cause, it's an effect. The cause is different. Posture. Sit in complete or half lotus position or on a chair with your legs crossed, like Padmasana. Meditation can be done only by walking with faithful friends. Truly, truly, truly. Faithful friends and discussing virtues and idea, or by gathering friends for discussion, questions, answers. So it's like having a sangha, having a group where we can talk it out, we can discuss and things like that. In all these discussions, the main subject will be taken from world scriptures, principles, or laws in any field, any religion or any laws and scriptures which has been and can be discussed from there. It can be discussed from Bible. It can be discussed from, like for example, many spiritual practitioners think in many modality, in many religion, that Kali Yuga is sorry about to come and it's going to be worst. But if we read this book called Holy Science, the purpose of that book was to make educated by Sri Yukteswar Nandanji, who tells that, hey, we are that dark ages of Kali Yuga is already gone. There was a miscalculation actually. So this is from lineage of Babaji. So he gives a detailed insights in that book. So discussions like these, example. These discussions are not to analyze present situation and speak about the effect, but to discuss the laws, the principle and breaking of the laws which result in effects. How these effects can be used to bring result. As I was speaking, not focusing on the effect, but how these, again, going back to the cause, and then how, when we change the cause, obviously the effect will change. Objectives of meditation. The 5 objectives of meditation, which are given in this book, page 73. First, renunciation. Renunciation has various levels of truth. So let's not think renunciation means just leaving a home, going to the mountains. Not at all. Renunciation simply, it has various levels of truth. It could be living a life of sacrifice. So first stage is renunciation. Renunciation, when done over a long period of time, leads to service behavior and tendencies. For example, that small Sunday hour when we take out from our family time or weekdays, anything, and we simple way. Let me give you a practical example of renunciation. There are 24 hours, and in this 24 hours, say 7, 8 hours we are sleeping, or 6 hours we are sleeping. From morning till night, we have so much of time, to be honest. We think we have time, but we don't have time. Um, we think we have time, but we don't have time. For example, and we are involved in the household works and day-to-day activity, in spouse, in children, in kids, in TV, and things like that. So, say for example, if I want to meditate and I keep on saying, hey, I want to evolve, I want to meditate, I want to go into retreats of 5 days, 10 days, and things like that. But how do I go move towards that 5 hours, 10 hours of meditation? At least I have to make everyday activity to learn to meditate half an hour, 40 minutes, 1 hour, and increase its dosage or quantity. How will I do that if I keep on saying I don't get time? I have to take out time from cooking. I have to take out time from my phone calls. I have to take out time from my scrolling. I have to take out time from television. Something I need to renounce. Why I'm giving this practical example? Because I want this teaching to not feel like, wow, flowery, and then go back to our life and then forget about it. I want it to be practical enough. So, taking out that half an hour, reducing some wastage and making it productive. So, small example of renunciation. Then, slowly and gradually, when it becomes a part, like we are so charged up, we want to share it with other people. So, slowly, we learn a life of sacrifice, first towards oneself. And we want to sacrifice our life, our days, our weekends, or something like that, and want to share and share and share with others also. Spreading the teachings is what we say. Something like that. Or I would say, in a simple way, whatever you are good at, start sharing with other people. That's a beautiful way of serving. Beautiful way of serving. Now, it doesn't mean the negative things, positive things. Noble aspiration. What is noble aspiration? To go for a retreat is a noble aspiration. To read book is a noble aspiration. Hey, let's join and talk about angels today is a noble aspiration. Hey, we'll sit and do some few minutes of breath work is a noble aspiration. Anything which is making you have more soul pranic energy is a noble aspiration. Enthusiasm, obviously, for meditation, it's not like played 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 2 hours, 1 hour, 10 hours, done. Not at all. Not at all. After some time, you will not feel like meditating. I don't feel like meditating that way. That's very mechanical. I want to make it with mirch masala, something like that. So, would just sit and I would just meditate on that one line for some minutes. Again, we'll see at the and try to learn it so that I can do it on my own because it's not learned to me. So, something like that. There has to be an enthusiasm that it's not like 30 days challenge done. Whom I'm gonna show? कौन है मेरे को दिखाने के लिए? Facebook, Instagram? I want to post more funny contents over there about my products actually and my services over there so that I can educate people. Or through my stuff, I can bring some joy in someone's life or spiritual aspect in someone's life. Not interested in showing other people that I've done my 30 days challenge. That is just for souls who are very snobbish about spiritual practices. Spiritual practices are supposed to be a secret. Truly, like, have you seen Yogananda ji posting, writing in his book 90 days challenge meditation done, 120 days done, 365 days meditation done? That's glamour. That's very much glamour, very much of glamour. Nobody wants to talk about their spiritual practices because it's a personal life, secret life, personal life, my life, life between me and the higher beings. So, numbers are important. I'm not saying that. It's for spreading the teachings. But challenges, these kind of things are for a young soul, very young soul. Like, it's just to make someone enthusiastic about, hey, great, 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 it's good you're meditating. So it's just like external validation. Wow. But as a soul matures, I don't want to show it to anyone. It doesn't matter what you think about me. It just does not matter. I'm not here to say anyone if I'm regular with my practices. I know, my consciousness knows, and I'm honest to myself. Correct? Something like that. As the soul matures, they're very grounded in the self. It doesn't matter. So next step is grounding in the self actually. They focus on Atma Vidya, grounding in the self. So every time, it's like meditating, you get like, oh, this technique can be applied in this technique. It's like grounding in self. You just know and know and know. You become the student and the teachings comes directly. Teaching comes directly, something like that. Objective of meditation helps in service and sacrifice. So if you've not been doing services, definitely our meditations are not. That's the objective. The objective has been 30 days challenge to fill up certain forms. How many meditations have I done? Okay, I wanted to do it for that, so I've done it. So not right way. Next, what's the time? Considering the time. Okay, we are up time, but last thing, you will read it out because it's a topic for today only. So if you want to stay, you can stay back. Since we started 5 minutes late, we were waiting for others. Quickly, we'll read. This will read quickly, so just remember this 73 page number. How to meditate. Learn renunciation by meditating on the suffering of humanity, death, separation, the suffering of future lives, and in the subtle world or evil deeds and dark forces in old age. Med- Sorry. Meditate on the lives of great ones or and on your future attainments for common goal. Meditate on how much good you can do it if you prepare yourself. Now, okay, I want to share this small example. Every night, as per Holy Master TK, every night is a rehearsal of death. I repeat, every night is a rehearsal of death. So every time, like, we should focus on living and we should also learn the art of dying. There's actually a topic called art of dying in the books of Holy Master TK where he shares. So it's like, but when we are meditating and someone dies in our family, a true healer, to me, to my consciousness, that's how I think. My idea can be very different from yours. A true healer, when there be a sickness in the family, they would first go and heal their family. Period. Subject to a condition that they are individual and they don't have anyone else. They have to take care of the ritual. So in that case, they are not able to heal. They have asked. When I gave this example, I meant also critical conditions actually. Life and death situations, ventilator, those times. Especially when someone dying at home, the true healer will do soulful rituals for the soul. So if we are genuinely meditators, instead of crying, yanking, and behaving like immature, it's okay to cry actually. And I'm saying this with experience. When I say with experience, when losing or seeing on my loved ones on the deathbed, actually, I'm saying we have to do it is our responsibility. We know something and we know the truth, we know some knowledge. We have to do their soulful work. It is our responsibility being in a generation. How do I explain this? Generation lineage with them. We have a karmic relationship, so we should do. Don't be like I am sad, I can't do. Not a true meditation practitioner, not an aware practitioner. There, it's a long way to go. Something for us to be aware. Meditation on striving towards perfection, like as is it, moving towards perfection, not being perfect, that's a defect, but being perfection means moving towards perfection means this is something I should learn to do it, irrespective of my emotions and thought. And after 4, 5, after some time, I will cry also because I am a human. I am experiencing that weakness. I will cry as well, but I will do first what is needed to be done at this point of time, and that is most important. Instead of being uh, selfish to address my emotions, I would address the soul. That is very important, the journey of the soul. Meditating on sacrificial service, any event or object that make you concentrate and research in meditation. Research is meditation. I want to read this again. Some of you are from a close group. Any event or object that makes you concentrate and research is meditation. So say from some techniques you form some powerful techniques, that is meditation, that comes from meditation. It just cannot come from a dull mind or a brainless mind. It comes from a good mind. So that is also meditation. So anybody who's been meditating or been a meditator, from naturally they would know, as I said, anytime you bring your mind into focus, you are in meditation, providing that your mind is working on constructive lines. So, best thing, how I love is every time I meditate something, every time we meditate something, has that happened with you that you get some beautiful insights about your life, about what to do, how you can help people through more nurturing or something like that. That comes from meditation, actually. So, why I wanted to take this topic, however, this is not going to be the book study, also. The book is going to be in June end, The Art of Visualization. And that's the first time I'm repeating another same book. I generally do not. I provide the pre-recorded videos. Is because meditation is very close topic to me, and I thought that when we do great invocation, if we just do it non-mechanically, we can create our homes as temple, churches, or mandir. Actually, it would be so much beautiful that you just sit in that space, you pray, or you just close your eyes, you will feel immediate downpour of energy because it's a sacred place. So what I wanted to share is, make your body a sacred place, make your space a sacred place, make your life a sacred place. Sacredness is the condition for truly a spiritual practitioner. You start being sacred. Sacred means having that God's energy in your system, and slowly and gradually focus on sacredness, actually, and more silence. So, with that note, I really hope to, I really hope that you will invite your loved ones on 5th of, and we will just read some more beautiful insights from this book. I really hope that we got some beautiful insights during this session, and this time could be of use for the group. And thank you for joining, because especially when you join from India time, it's like it's early morning there. All our upcoming book studies, nurturing sessions related to study pillar will be in the morning. Yeah. So let's just close it with a closing invocation. You have the link, you have the creative, both. Just share it with your groups, your friends, invite them so that they can also be nurtured. Next week, we'll be having different topics from different books of TORKOM SARAYDARIAN. The link would remain the same, actually. To the Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, all the great ones, holy gurus, masters, saints, archangels, spiritual helpers, all the beings of light, love, power, to all the angelic beings who helped us, assisted us, thank you for helping us to make our meditation experiences more stronger by working on oneself. Thank you for the inner strength to practice regularly. Now, when we say this line, thank you for the inner strength to practice regularly. Thanks, and in full faith, may every person, every being be blessed. So be it. Atma, namaste. Thank you. I really hope the 5th, when you join, more videos are on. If you are taking a bath and shower in the morning. However, I'll not pester because I understand it's early India time zone. So thank you for your presence. It does make a difference.